Now concerning September 23rd, 2017, let's see what the Bible says. Now, it says that there will be a 7-year period after an attack on Jerusalem. There will be 7 countries, 6 or 7 countries that are going to attack Israel, right? And through that attack, there will be a worldwide earthquake. In Ezekiel 38, verse 20, it says that every man on the face of the earth will shake at my presence. Every creature in the ocean and every man on the face of the earth will shake at my presence. It says, every high place and every wall will fall to the ground. Okay, now last I heard, houses were made of walls. So, you know, the God who has been in the background for 2,000 years is going to come out from behind that curtain, that veil, and he's going to show his great power. Okay? Israel's going to be attacked. In Ezekiel 38 and 20, Israel's going to be attacked, and by, it talks about in the latter days, you know, and the first event is going to be, as these armies are attacking Jerusalem, there's going to be a worldwide earthquake. And immediately afterwards, it says that fire, burning sulfur, water, giant hailstones, and blood, yes, blood, is going to fall out of the sky and consume 5/6 of those soldiers that are moving against Jerusalem. Okay, so we're going to see millions of soldiers dying in a flash, in a moment. The whole world's going to be stunned. We're going to see this on CNN. Okay? We're going to see this on CNN. Now, and then it mentions in the next chapter, Ezekiel 39, verse 8, it mentions that the children, the Jewish people, are going to burn the weapons of war for, guess how many years? 7 years. So we're going to have a 7-year period, and the beginning of which is going to be a worldwide earthquake. Now, looking at the entire, this last generation, Jesus, in Matthew 24, he's walking through the temple, and the apostles ask him, what's the sign of your coming, the end of the age, that sort of thing. He says, first he went through all the signs of the times. You've heard it. Wars and rumors of wars, famines in diverse places, earthquakes, all that sort of thing. And then he goes on to say, and then there shall be tribulation, such was not since the beginning of the world, nor no shall ever be. And then it mentions the Antichrist, right? The abomination of desolation. And then immediately thereafter, it says, and you know, look at the parable of the fig tree, which is Israel, always been the symbol of Israel. When it put forth branches, put forth leaves, know ye that summer is nigh, even at the door. You know, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. So here we have Israel becoming a nation, all the way, Israel becoming a nation, all the way to the Antichrist showing himself. Now the Antichrist is going to show himself halfway through the tribulation period. Right? Now, it says that'll be the last generation. Now, if you want to find out what a generation is, you have to go to Google. You're saying, well, why is that? It's because we want to know what the actual length of a generation is in this moment, because the time of the length of time of a generation has changed throughout history. Okay, during Jesus' time, people only lived 40 years. That was a generation. But before that, during the time of Adam and Eve and Methuselah and Noah, they lived hundreds of years. Methuselah lived 965 years. That's a long time. Okay, so, but if we want to know what a generation is in this moment, we just go to Google. It's about 73 years. 73.3. Okay? Now, if we go to, so basically what he was saying in Matthew was that the last generation would extend from Israel becoming a nation, that's May of 1948, to the Antichrist being revealed halfway through the tribulation period. Now, that would be our time period. Okay? Now, if we want to know when the tribulation would start, we would just jump back 3.5 years, because the Antichrist is going to reveal himself halfway through that 7-year period. Okay? Now, it's about 73.3 years. Now, if you go to Israel becoming a nation and add 73 and a third years, it brings us right to wow, incredibly, it brings us right to 2021 with a little bit of change. Right? Now, when we subtract 3.5 years to the beginning of the tribulation period, it brings us to 2017. So basically, Jesus was saying that we would start here and go to here. This would be last generation. And if we want to find when the tribulation period starts, we just backtrack a little bit. And there we have it. So we have the last 73 years of life on earth, and we're right here. We're in the middle of it. We can't go any further. Okay? So, and of course, in Ezekiel, it says that the beginning of this period will be a worldwide earthquake. So here we see the science lining up with the Bible. Okay? And basically, before that 7-year tribulation period, there's going to be an earthquake. So that discharge through the planets is going to cause that earthquake. So both the Bible and science is pointing towards September 23rd, 2017 as the beginning of the tribulation period, because there is no more time left. We're at the end. This is it. This is it, folks. Okay? So I encourage all you preppers, you now know what you're prepping for. You're prepping for an earthquake. I would go out and buy a tent, because we're going to need it. When you see this happening, get out of your house. When you see this big buildup and they're about to attack Israel, get out of the house. Go to the park. If you work in an office, take the day off. Do something, but don't have anything above your heads, because it says every wall will fall to the ground. Can you imagine how many millions of people are going to die that day? Now, the majority of the world is going to ignore this message. I feel like Jonah. The last week, I've had a hard time just trying to get this out, because I know many people are going to be scared. But the Bible and the science are in perfect agreement that we're going to have this big pulse, like a lightning bolt, that's going to run through the planets. Okay, it's just a physical. It's not a supernatural thing. It's just a physical eventuality. Because as soon as these planets line up, the energy can more easily jump across, and we have this highly magnetic, very large planet moving into, this heavenly body moving into our solar system, and that charge has to be dispersed somehow. And as soon as those planets line up, we're going to have a massive, what looks like a lightning bolt, running through the planets to discharge into the sun. Okay, and this has happened before. The Tunguska explosion. Okay, they never found a single particle of any meteorite or anything, and it formed a circular area around those, in the middle of those trees, and that's exactly what a discharge from outer space would do. The Birkeland currents. That's all it was. That was a discharge, a Birkeland current that landed in the forest. Bam! Big major electrical discharge, explosion, shook the earth, and we're going to have the same thing, except this time it's going to be much stronger, much more powerful. And we can see the evidence of what they call electric machining on the surface of Mars. If you look at Valles Marineris, it's a valley on Mars where it shows the effects of electrical machining, where giant electrical charges just carved out the earth. You know, Valles Marineris, Marenaris. Look it up. You can see the photographs on Google. And so, you know, hold fast. You know, and stick to your guns. Keep following Jesus. Hold him close, because we're going to need him. Because it's going to be a rough ride. It is going to be rough. I got to tell you. I would go out and get a tent, start getting some survival equipment. If you want to start, you know, go get a Bible if you don't have one, or brush the dust off your old one, and just, you know, I've got some links below the video. You can click them, go to Amazon, maybe pick up some survival stuff. You're going to need it, especially a tent. Especially a tent. You don't want to be in the house on that day. Go outside, do anything, just be outside. Okay? Save yourself. All right? Give yourself the opportunity to survive. If you want to hear more information, I'm going to walk you through the tribulation period. Together we will walk through this. Okay, and I will keep you informed at every step of the way. Subscribe to my video and to this channel, and I will give you almost daily videos that you can use as a reference, so we can prepare for the coming of the tribulation period. Thank you.